Fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of June 20, Thursday. I'm Riza Diaz. Jump-starting today's rush with the FB GemVer crew updating their story on the ramming incident at Recto Bank. But this time, they're saying that the Chinese vessel may not have intentionally hit them. This comes after they received some of the assistance that the government has promised. Romel Lopez has the report.
Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol arrived in Mindoro bearing gifts. 11 brand new fiberglass 30-footer boats for the crew of GemVer 1, complete with fishing tools and diesel engine. The fishermen will also get 45,000 pesos cash assistance from different government agency, while PAGCOR will shoulder the repair of the damaged GemVer 1. After meeting with fishermen for 25 minutes, Piñol announced that they have an agreement, that it was the ship's cook, Richard Blasa, who was the only credible witness of the Recto Bank incident. And more importantly, the other crew members could not tell really if they were intentionally hit by the Chinese boat.
Sapagkat ayon kay Richard Blasa, posibleng hindi sila nakita noong barko nag-inset. Ayon naman sa ibang tripulante, posibleng intentional. But this is something that is better resolved by a marine inquiry.
Blasa earlier told media that he was not sure if the incident was intentional. But even the tough-talking boat captain was now singing a different tune. Captain Junel Insigne earlier said that the GemVer 1 was robbed by the Chinese boat, now seems to be unsure.
Naguguluhan po ako dahil para pag ko po hindi ko pa naano kung talagang bangga na po .
Other crew members stood by their position.
Akin lang naman. Kung hindi po nila sinadya, dapat binalikan kami, di ba? Pinasakay kami. Yun lang yung sinasama namin ng loob. Iniwanan kami. Kung talagang hindi nila, kung aksidente lang.
But if the intention is still being debated, the call for accountability is not.
There is no justification to the act of the Chinese vessel to abandon the Filipino fishermen who were already in distress. Under international maritime laws, that is illegal. Under human laws, that is immoral.
The fishermen also requested the president to help them continue their livelihood in the area.
The fishermen are also asking the president that the Recto Bank, which is their traditional fishing grounds, should be their exclusive fishing grounds. And government should help them secure the area. Ang sabi nila, unong araw, wala naman daw mga foreign fishermen doon. Nag-umpisa lang daw ito noong 2014.
Piñol said they were grateful for the help rendered by the Vietnamese fishermen, but the Agriculture Secretary reminded the Vietnamese that they were trespassing while on Recto Bank.
Salamat sa mga Vietnamese sa pagtulong, pero you were not supposed to be there. But thank God you were there.
For News 5, Romel Lopez. We are One News.
FB GemVer Captain Junel Insigne also took it as a chance to apologize to President Duterte after a supposed meeting that had been canceled. Earlier reports stated that Insigne was supposed to meet with Duterte, although he backed out at the last minute saying he was not feeling well. Before this, cabinet members had varying statements on whether or not there was going to be an emergency meeting on the Recto Bank incident. Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol has already met with the fishermen in the president's stead. Insigne, on the other hand, said sorry for the misunderstanding.
Hingi po ako ng paumanin sa ating mahal na presidente na hindi po pala ako pinatawag niya, kundi po si Secretary Piñol po ang nagpatawag sa amin. Hindi po ako nakatuloy, matras pa ako dahil masama po yung pakaramdam ko. Gusto ko po mapanagot po yung kapitan po na yun ang pangiling ko po sa ating mahal na presidente.
Defense Chief Delfin Lorenzana, meanwhile, is unapologetic in his view that the sinking of the Filipino fishing boat in Recto Bank wasn't done on purpose. Mayan Los Baños has the story.
After breaking the story on the sinking of FB GemVer 1 in Recto Bank a week ago, sparking talks on alleged Chinese bullying in Philippine waters, Defense Secretary Lorenzana now believes the incident was unintentional and does not involve the Chinese government.
I think it is just an accident. Getting based on some of the information that we got from some of the crew. This is just an accident. Siguro hindi rin sinasadya ng kabila na masagi nila. Yun lang, hindi tinulungan. I don't think there was bullying there. I don't think this was ordered by higher-ups.
But Lorenzana says the captain of the Chinese vessel should be held accountable leaving the Filipino fishermen at sea after the collision. The cabinet secretary also advised against invoking the Mutual Defense Treaty with the United States over the Recto Bank incident. Though Senator Panfilo Lacson insists the MDT is an appropriate response to the situation.
Ano ba naman yung gamitin na lang natin yan para pang-balanse ng power doon sa West Philippine Sea para mga ma-avert o kaya parang proactively ma-preempt na natin yung posibleng hostilities o armed hostilities na mangyari doon. Masama ba yun?
Lacson also accused presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo of lawyering for the Chinese crew.
He's acting like the Defense Council of China or at the very least, naglo-lawyer siya doon sa Chinese crew. Dahil hinahanapan niya ng butas yung mga fishermen instead of, holding his horses, so to speak, at buuin na muna investigation.
Panelo responded by saying Malacanang cannot act based on conjecture, speculation, or emotion. He assured the country that they will seek justice for the local fishermen who were abandoned at Recto Bank. However, when it comes securing to the West Philippine Sea, Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio believes much remains to be done.
We have to continue defending the West Philippine Sea because that's our duty.
Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. Former Cebu Mayor Ricardo Ramirez was shot dead while under hospital arrest in Bogo Medellin Medical Center. The Freeman reports that 15 armed men barged into Ramirez's room before midnight and fired several shots at the former local executive. The Cebu Provincial Police Office has formed a special task force to investigate the killing, which they described as alarming. From Filipino Star ngayon, the number of Filipinos who consider themselves poor declined to a record low 38% or an estimated 9.5 million in the first quarter of the year. A survey by the SWS notes that this is below the 50% recorded in December of last year. This is also lower than 42%, a previous record low in March 2018 and September of 2016. Self-rated poverty went down in all areas, with the biggest decline recorded in Balance, Luzon. Mindanao also posted a new record low of Filipinos who deemed themselves poor at 37%. And Pagasa warns the public to brace for stronger tropical cyclones this year due to the prevailing El Niño phenomenon. Pagasa tells the Philippine Star that the tropical cyclones could be as devastating as Typhoon Ondoy in 2009 if it hits the country. Pagasa expects about 10 to 13 tropical cyclones to enter or develop within the Philippine area of responsibility between June and November this year. El Niño conditions may also last until November. Speaking of tropical cyclones, a tropical depression was spotted east of Mindanao. Data from the Japan Meteorological Agency shows it's still outside the Philippine area of responsibility and is still too far to affect any part of the country. The tropical cyclone is almost stationary as of the moment, but it is expected to move closer into the PAR in the next couple of days. Meanwhile, another weather system outside the PAR or Philippine Area of Responsibility is affecting the country, and that's the high-pressure area that extends to Luzon. Because of that, those in Luzon should brace for a hot summer-like weather, even though it's officially rainy season already. However, localized thunderstorms are still possible throughout the country today. President Duterte hosted a fellowship party for newly elected congressmen. But despite this, the chief executive still hasn't announced his bet for the coveted speakership post. Zoni Esguera with the details.
At least 120 neophyte congressmen attended the fellowship dinner at the presidential residence in Malacanang. The party was organized by presidential son, Congressman Paulo Duterte. and serves as a fellowship and getting to know you dinner for new and returning lawmakers. Congressman Lord Alan Velasco, who is one of the candidates for the speakership post, introduced most of the attendees to the presidential son.
Feel at home kami doon sa mga kasamahan din namin, mga kuya at mga tito na rin namin sa Congress, no? And yun, winelcome lang kami, and then pinakilala rin kay Congressman Pulong.
President Duterte arrived at the party 2 hours late, but still did not make an announcement as to who he will support as House Speaker of the 18th Congress.
Sabi ni Presidente, June 28, may sasabihin siya sa amin. Hindi niya naman sinabi rin kung ano talaga yung sasabihin niya, pero syempre kami na-expect namin na baka yun na yung endorsement niya sa speakership kung sino.
Neophyte Navotas Congressman-elect John Ray Chanco made known his choice.
I can't speak for the others kasi may kanya-kanyang block, may kanya-kanyang partido. Ako po, committed na po kay Kong Lord kung tutuloy po siya.
The president capped off the party by singing to the incoming legislators. Another candidate for Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano also extended an invitation for neophyte congressmen in Clark, Pampanga, where he attended a forum yesterday. At least 30 congressmen were spotted at the event. For News 5, Sona Reyes Esquera, we are One News.
Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. Northport pulled off comeback at 107-105 in an overtime thriller against Rain or Shine. The Batang Pier managed to bounce back from a 25-point deficit despite having only 8 active players in the match. Mota Tua led the team with a career-high 34 points on top of 11 rebounds, 2 steals, and an assist. Robert Bolick also chipped in 22 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. This is Northport's first win after trading off Stanley Pringle to Barangay Ginebra in exchange for Jervy Cruz, Kevin Ferrer, and Sol Mercado. While Pringle still expressed his support for his former team, Mercado is now setting his sights to claiming victory for the Batang Pier.
If you're anywhere for 5 years, you're going to have a relationship with your teammates and management and coaches. So, that's what it's about. When if they let you know you got traded, I'm still going to support the team, say farewell to the players that we have a relationship with. So
I'm still blessed to be able to come in and play basketball, and I'm just going to try and bring leadership and energy to these young guys over here and try and see what we can do.
And in the second game, after 6 straight losses, the Road Warriors finally picked up the win in the 2019 PBA Commissioner's Cup. NLEX managed to defeat Meralco 100-91, with Tony Mitchell registering 32 points, 20 rebounds, and 4 assists. But it wasn't an easy win for NLEX. That's because their 23-point lead was nearly wiped out when Meralco fought back midway in the 4th quarter. In the end, Meralco's collective effort, including Gani Lawal's comeback from an injury, was not enough to offset Mitchell's double-double performance. Dog lovers out there, ears up. An animal advocacy group is calling on netizens to adopt dogs at the Muntinlupa pound. That's because the group says the dogs are set to be euthanized if no one takes them by the end of the month. Greg Gregorio will tell us more.
A post by the dog advocacy group Potion Project went viral on Facebook. It says 35 dogs at the Muntinlupa pound are scheduled to be euthanized.
Well, we're based in Bacolod, pero we've been helping out here, cases here in Manila already. And one of the people who actually fosters one of our rescues right now went to the pound the other day. So they got 2 dogs already. That's when they asked for help from us.
The animal facility confirmed that they conduct mercy killing, as it is allowed under Philippine Animal Welfare Act. However, the pound says dogs will not be euthanized this month as they are still waiting for possible adopters.
Euthanasia is allowed kasi nga po we do not have enough funds to sustain or to do no-kill. Dahil if we sustain all the dogs na hindi nakiklaim, in which very low percentage lang ang nakiklaim sa amin, kawawa din yung mga dogs.
Muntinlupa City Veterinarian Dr. Pamela Hernandez says they need a lot of money to take care of the dogs, which explains the 500 peso adoption fee and other penalties for owners who got their dogs impounded. The Potion Project says the pound should allow people outside Muntinlupa to adopt the dogs.
Some of the dogs at the pound were surrendered by dog owners from Muntinlupa. So bakit residents lang din yung mag-a-adapt.
Meanwhile, MAP says not all dogs are euthanized. Some are trained to be part of the local government's canine unit, and some, like this dog Coco, are trained to be a therapy dog.
Kahit in a short moment of time, in a few minutes, ma-relieve yung stress ng mga patients, maalis yung iniisip nila sa sakit nila. And it has been proven by studies na this really helps people heal.
The Muntinlupa Animal Pound is set to meet with the Potion Project on Tuesday to tackle the issue. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.